Hi, I'm Tim Corey with Calibri Facilitation, and I'm here at the Supply Chain Summit, and I'd like to go over a little bit of information I've captured here visually as the day has unfolded. So let's go ahead and start with imagine the supply chain of the future. And we heard about making that digital pivot, not just optimization. People are doing optimization, organizations are doing optimization, but what about that digital pivot and knowing that new competitors and solutions will emerge as you make the pivot? Well, one thing to consider is how we define excellence through performance and improvement, and making sure that we look at continuity, talent, strategy, and having a clear structure for governance, paying attention to the horizontal alignments. This is all about envisioning the future of supply chain, recognizing that markets are changing, and that 9 out of 10 companies are stuck. So how can we help them? How can they craft emerging practices? I think that's one piece. And then we talked a little bit about what we can expect in 2025. The conversation focused on China, that really it's important not to count China out, that there is slower growth occurring, but that we need to see that they are focusing more on exports right now. And so the image of the elevator, of the cartoon of the economies of the world, the global economy, the EU going down, and China just basically walking the level path down the hallway. We heard about market fragmentation and pressure on the merchandise trade. A little bit about the long run economic analysis, 2025, the importance of an infrastructure investment and competitive environment without rules. So, how do we manage our work when there aren't structures or rules in place in this competitive environment? And really what's moving, we're hearing that there's more of a global focus, and we're also hearing there's more of a local focus in supply chain. And really what some people are seeing emerge is this hybrid supply chain, and that there are more interregional trade, there's more interregional trade happening. So how can you get a head start with your economic analysis for the future? That's not great.
So let's just wrap this up real quick. So what we're talking about is how companies can think about what's happening in the future, what they need to be doing to make that digital pivot in their business. They're going to have a lot of things that they have to contend with going forward. And then we heard from Dr. Pankaj Gamawat about the future of the economic trade globally and how China, people think they're down, but we shouldn't count them out. And I saw a lot about where trade lines are going to become very much east-west, or go from east-west to north-south, and that in the long run, we need to be thinking about aligning our trade with these new emerging powers. Is that a good summary?
It is, and I think to build on that, the rest of the morning really was focusing on our talent pool and our employees. We heard from Andrew Turner at General Mills about the importance of courageous leadership, that matters, to put people first and to build capability. And when you do those three things, you're able to pivot and play inside the arena. And she gave us Venus Williams as a wonderful example, that it's about performance over time, to never give up, and that's what makes a great tennis player.
It's even more so that she might not have all the attributes that you would put to a world-class tennis player, but entirely she's become one of the greatest tennis players of all time because she's using the assets that she does have.
Right. And so how are you, in that spirit, how are we as an organization creating a culture of winning outcomes, to be the first over the line? And it's really about collaboration with customers, a shared benefit value. And when we do that, we can expand that work of shared benefit value by involving our suppliers as well.
And then we heard from Eastman Chemical talking about the same. All three speakers were talking about talent being key and how they're developing the supply chain to admire, and how they're moving their organizations forward by not just relying on the technology and the process, but the integration of those people into the entire corporation.
Yeah, Kevin Pruitt talked about that it's an ongoing journey, that we first have to earn the right to grow, make a commitment to growth, and then focus on the future to then develop this global strategy around process improvement, maintenance, compliance, and innovation. And when we do that, and when we develop capability, we then start moving forward, and we, move forward in a good way.
So as we move forward to Intel and share what Sharon Hall was talking about,
Building this inclusive culture through diversity of thought and inclusiveness by taking an inward focus and an outward focus, aligning all business units around cost, quality, uninterrupted supply, right technology, and then the key element is sustainability. And to that end, sustainability around talent. Talent is key to develop the manager, the thinker, the solver, the influencer. And Intel does that by being visible at the Grad Summit, the ROAR program that they have internally, and building and creating structured integrated plans. And when they do that, they can nurture, grow, and share. And she emphasized that it's important, the share aspect is important, that Intel has got really good at nurturing and growing and supporting their managers and to really share their talent within the organization so it can help the whole.
pretty cool visual representation of the first half of day one of the Supply Chain Insights Global Summit. So stay tuned for more summaries and insights over the next day and a half.